What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Career Mode. It is episode number 17. We are back. It is a brand new season, our third year beginning at Craven Cottage on the back of the Carabao Cup semi and FA Cup semi-final defeats last season and a 13th place in the league, where for the new season, our budget is about the same as last year. Yeah, I'm liking this though. It's realistic. It continues to add to the challenge. I'm more than happy with this. I don't want an astronomical budget of like 120, 130 mil for... Hold on, let me order this first. Actually, you can stay with me whilst I do this. Let me explain why. The reason being is very simple. It's our third year at Craven Cottage. Granted, we're in the Premier League, and everyone knows about the TV money within the Premier League itself. But I like to have this little challenge here of trying to rebuild this side on a smaller budget. It's not like it's so tiny we can't do anything, but it just means that, we're not going to be able to sign like some of the absolute best players in the world. We're a developing team. We're only into now our third season of a full, and I mean a full rebuild. Look at the team here. I mean, practically the vast majority of all these players have been players that we've signed, other than Bassey in the back line and Harrison Reed. The whole first 11 has been completely rebuilt with Fulham. We're doing this slowly, steadily, but getting there in time, and that's what I really like about this team. It's not just being rebuilt, it's being rebuilt realistically as well, and that's what I really like about it. Oh, and of course, don't forget we sold Bobby Reed to Al Hilal, so we get a few mil extra for that sale too. Although the Blade deal was a free transfer, so nothing for that. And again, Peterson's gone out on loan. We've agreed to loan him to Norwich for a couple of years. And oh wow, goodness gracious! Well, listen, we knew that as Cadiz want to take our Irish winger on loan. Fair enough. We'll send him out there to sunny Spain. Fabio Carvalho, we knew we were going to have to lose him, but Manchester, I was not expecting that. I was thinking someone more like, I don't know, West Ham maybe, Newcastle, but Manchester United, that's... wow. Well, we'll negotiate that in a moment, but let me run you through the squad hub first, where you'll see Lance Knight is out of contract come the end of the season, but after his 2 amazing years at the Hawthorns, oh my goodness, 94 kicking at 19. That's just ludicrous, man. 77 overall. I'm going to put him on that sweeper keeper development plan because I need to get that positioning up ASAP. And imagine this guy, 5-star weak foot with 99 kicking. The ultimate sweeper keeper, man. I'll give him a new contract in a moment. But I'm really liking this team. Like I said, we're rebuilding it fully. It's not a soft rebuild, it's a hard rebuild. The entire team has been getting gutted out slowly rather than slowly and surely, and bringing in a new sort of core here with Fulham. But I'm liking it. There's still a few seniors like Harrison Reed at 30, like Alex Iwobi. Yes, get in. Nathan still has that potential to be special despite the injury last season. I'm going to give him a full contract as well alongside Knight to improve the salary as well. And the length of the contract too. But I'm liking it. I'm really, really liking it. Yes, again, there are some seniors here. Iwobi, Harrison Reed, Adama Traore, kind of mentoring the young players. Then there's some players that are in their mid-20s right now that are hitting their prime. And there's some great young talent too. It's, like I said, a really good, realistic rebuild here. I'm liking it. And so with 4 players having their contracts up coming the end of the season, again, I will give a contract to Nathan Mason anyway. He's got 2 years left in his deal, but want to get him a higher salary and a longer contract as well to improve his morale. Joshua King, the young midfielder, he was out on loan last season with Villarreal's B team. Very strange, but he's definitely getting a new deal. He's only 18 years old and one of Fulham's best bright prospects. And Lance Knight, of course, will get that big contract too. And I'll let you know if he's anything other than potentially special. I'm pretty sure he'll keep hold of that. This year's going to be our number 1. But as for Kenny Tate and Stephen Bender, I think I'm going to sell both of those here in this summer window. So yeah, for Fabio, I mean, to be fair, like if a traditional top 6 team came in anyway, we talked about this before, we wouldn't stand in a player's way. Unless we had a certain reason to. So for Fabio, granted, it's a one and done on his return. It wasn't the plan, but unfortunately, after requesting a transfer last season, not much we can do about it. I still think we hold all the cards, though. He's still got 4 years on his deal, so we don't have to give in to a lower bid than we would want. And at 15 mil market valuation, I've said before, I think he need to work on a market valuation. To me, he's worth around 25 mil, but if we can't get that, perhaps 23, that would do me. Maybe we'll meet somewhere in the middle with Eric here, 22.5 mil. I guess we'll take it. It means we still make a profit, and he's on his way back to a traditional top 6 side. 22.5 mil and a one and done for Fabio Carvalho. And as we have a loan offer for Ethan Pierce, Darmstadt want to take in. They're in the 2 league right now, SV Darmstadt, but fair enough. He'll certainly get the game time there. Another bid for Fabio Carvalho, this time from Villarreal. I'm pretty sure he'd choose Manchester United anyway, but still, I'll try and get the same fee. But if they don't match the 22.5 mil that Erik ten Hag's put in, then I'll turn it down anyway. And they say no, fair enough. A huge gap between Villarreal's valuation of him, but Erik ten Hag totally fine with it. Well, your loss, Marcelino. Wow, and a bid from Cracovia for our Irish winger as well. Like him long term though, so certainly not going to sell, that's for sure. But is the Carvalho deal going to go through? Is he off to Old Trafford? Pretty sure he is. There we go. Fabio Carvalho, one and done. Didn't want to sell him. The plan was to bring him back, give him that TLC and develop his game long term. But after, I think it was 6 months, handing in the transfer request, I was fuming about that. But one of those things. Off to Old Trafford, clearly using that game time as an excuse. He wants to be back playing European football. Fabio, off to Old Trafford, 22.5 mil. Still make a tiny profit in 1 year though. And so with that sale now rising our budget up to around £90 million, I'm going to go after my first signing of the window. And you know I like to bring in players from relegated teams. Well, Nottingham Forest went down last season, and yeah, give the police a call because I'm about to raid the City ground. There are so many players that are just far too good for the Championship right now at Nottingham Forest. And Ibrahim Sangare was one of my top targets of the summer. The only problem is I have signed him a couple times before. Mentioned before for this year, trying to sign players that I've not used before or had limited experience with. So with that being the case, I'll leave it at City ground. But a couple of great players here in Nicolas Dominguez and Danilo as well. To be honest, I might just sign both of them really, but I've never used either before. And I like the look of both of them, so I think I probably will go for both of them. To begin with, though, I'm going to go for Danilo. We've already got Gabriel Sara here as a Brazilian player. We've got a few Brazilians, actually. We've had a few Brazilians, I should say, since the season began, or save began. And Danilo, for just over market valuation, this will be a steal. Yeah, I mean, Willian and Rodrigo Muniz are no longer here, but Sara, Jan Couto, don't forget, who came in last season too. And again, I think we should be able to get Danilo for close to market valuation due to their relegation. And yep, with Nuno knowing that this guy wants to be back in the top tier, I think we're going to hold him to ransom. £20 million market valuation. Never used this guy before, but an absolute steal as Sara and Couto will get another Brazilian in. Nottingham police are going to be very busy responding to all these claims of burglary at the City ground because someone's broken in and started stealing the gems, taking them back to West London. And our first of, I'm sure, a couple of players coming in from Nottingham Forest is the Brazilian. Never used him before, but really excited to give him a go and arriving on a 5-year, 50 grand a week deal for an absolute bargain of just £20 million. Welcome to Craven Cottage. Danilo. Yeah, big fan of this guy. Really big fan. From what I've seen at Nottingham Forest, he's a great passer of the ball. Really solid and composed as well. And I love the energy too. 89 stamina. Absolutely fantastic. You know, that's my sort of player with a high work rate. So, honestly, I've got a feeling this guy could possibly be converted to left wing back, but that's not what we'll be doing. We'll be keeping him at CM/CDM, and I'll keep him on balance to get those stats up nicely and evenly all across the board as well. I like this guy a lot, man. Fantastic signing to come in here. And as the French side, Clermont Foot now want to take Joshua King on loan. Interesting loan deals for this guy. First Villarreal's B team, now Clermont Foot, but fair enough. You know, I know I said this before, but like to me, one of the things I've always wanted is feeder clubs in career mode. That to me will make the loan system so much more realistic and simpler as well, as opposed to sending your players here, there, and everywhere. Where you've got like an English 16-year-old out on loan in Poland and a 19-year-old Dutch winger out on loan in France. It would just be nice to have a feeder club where you can sell all your players, so like an EFL side, keep tabs on them and have them all together. That's more realistic. Ipswich want Joshua King. I'd prefer to get him there if I could. Can I retract that? Yes, I can. I'm going to retract that offer and try and get him to Pullman Road instead. Slightly more realistic, I would say. And we'll do a little switchy there instead and send him to Portman Road. So there we go. That's Sean King out on loan. Where did he go though? Cadiz? This is what I mean. Like at the moment, we're just sort of just sending players here, there, and everywhere. But I prefer to keep them within the country and within the EFL if possible. And so as those two loan deals go through, and we'll keep our eyes on our youngsters leaving on loan. I'd say looking at the team right now, it's pretty clear we need a new backup striker for Thijs de Linger. And there's loads of names on the shortlist here. Some players I've used before, some players I haven't. I must say I'm so tempted to bring Adebayo back to Fulham because obviously he was a bit of an icon in our Luton Town career mode early this year. But Elijah Adebayo was a Fulham Academy graduate, came through the Fulham team, was eventually released, had to build his career back up, but was brilliant with Luton last year in real life. But yeah, a few players here I've used, a few players I haven't. But I would say one player to me that kind of stands out a little bit as needing to be back in the Premier League is Abel Ruiz. Abel Ruiz right now is with Luton Town, but they're still in the Championship. They're still a second tier side, but 25 years old, 80 overall. This guy's got to get back to top level football if he's to have any chance of getting called up for the Spanish national side. Great physical stats, balanced all across the board, 82 stamina, 83 jumping, quick, little bit of strength, and 82 finishing with 81 ball control as well. Never used him before, I'm bringing him in. I think we should be able to get him for close to market valuation again due to the fact that Luton Town is still a second tier side. Couldn't find him back to promotion last year, so yep, in that case, time to jump ship and move. 32.4 mil? Come on, Rob. You can take Bender. You can take our third choice goalkeeper. I shouldn't have to pay more than 30 mil for him. I think I can get him even less than that, to be honest here. And Rob Edwards says otherwise, but I've got like a month and a half until the window shuts. I've got no need to panic here. And in the end, they say 27.5 mil. I called his bluff. He was ready to walk out, but he didn't want to walk out of any kind of money whatsoever. He'll get 27.5 mil. We'll get Abel. It's so frustrating. You can't persuade a player to take a reduced squad role when you're doing a negotiation. Abel asked to be crucial, and therefore my hands were tied. He might end up taking Thijs de Linger's spot as our starting striker, but my plan was to have him coming off the bench, regardless coming in on a 5-year, 65 grand a week deal. I definitely could see him taking our number 9's place at some point. Welcome to Craven Cottage. Abel Ruiz. Yeah, I'm excited about this again. Don't think I've used him before, and he is still getting better as well, so perhaps this guy's ambition is what's going to make the difference long term. Because again, with Thijs last year, he was solid, man. 15 goals in 31 games in the Premier League, and I continue to want to have this guy as my number 9. But it's not a guarantee. No one's play series safe, as we've seen throughout the course of this rebuild so far. We'll get the attacking work rate up to high, and again, whilst initially I haven't come off the bench, there's no reason why in the future he can't take de Linger's number 9 jersey and spot in the first team too. I guess we'll see. So with our budget now dropping down to 35 mil, still more signings to come, I'm sure. Bournemouth want to take Isaiah Jones. I liked him when he came in, man. You know, coming into this Fulham team, we knew he was just going to be a squad player. But if he wants to leave for more first team football, I guess I don't mind that. I did plan to try and make him a starter, but I guess his potential was just far too low for that, really. But we'll try and get 5 mil, and we will indeed. So make a little profit on the ex-Borough winger. And he's now off to Dorset, hopefully to get some more first-team football there at Vitality. And there is a bid as well for Alex Iwobi, and it's Wolves as well. I mean, I don't want to sell all of my squad wingers, but it is true, we're kind of overloaded on the flanks right now. And for Alex, 29, I do like him as a senior in this team, but on 60 grand a week, I'm not sure he justifies that really. So if we can get around 8.5 to 9 mil, I'll probably take it. Again, I don't want a team just of kids. I do want a couple of seniors, but for £9 million on a player on 60 grand a week, 29 not getting better. It's not like the worst sale in the world, is it? So Isaiah Jones off to Bournemouth. We'll take the 5 mil for him and let him go to Dorset. Profit after 18 months, so we'll take it. Although as our squad does continue to get a little bit smaller now, got to be a little bit careful as we're getting very thin on the ground here in terms of depth. And now a bid for Kenny Tate as well, who I did say, to be fair, I was going to sell in the summer. West Ham wanting to take him to the London Stadium, but I'm totally fine with that. Our contract come the end of the season, and after the signing of Val Valentin Gendry from Southampton. He's now third choice right back. I like the fact that he spent most of our time playing centre-half in this team. He was a nice versatile defender, but if we can get 11.5 mil or maybe 11 mil from David Moyes, who's now become chief transfer negotiator here at West Ham, I'll take it. No, wow, he's doing quite well in his job then, because he's got me for exactly what he wanted initially. Hard balls me completely, 10.5 mil, but for a player out of contract coming the end of the season, I guess I'll take it. So there we go, 2 more sales, as Kenny is off to West Ham, and Alex Iwobi is off to Wolves as well. Would have been fine keeping Iwobi, but again, on a salary, he was on 29 years old, totally fine selling. And getting a bit of money for the pair, raising our budgets just over £60 million. So, yeah, lots of money to play with. And again, right now, squad depth definitely an issue, no doubt about it. I know we're not in Europe, but even so, last year had loads of injuries. So, I want to make sure we've got enough cover this year. We still don't have a backup left back for Ryan Sessegnon, who I still might end up converting to left wing anyway. That's still definitely a potential plan for the future. Several names on the shortlist, a couple of which were relegated last season with Nottingham Forest and Sheffield United. Obviously, Burnley got promoted back last season, so Tyrick Mitchell, who I have had before, to be fair, I might keep him there. But I don't think I've used Nuno Tavares before. I mean, even he or Tyrell Malacia will both be good fits here, but I don't think I've used Nuno Tavares before. Have I used Tyrell? I'm not sure, but Nuno I don't think I have. And a chance to resurrect his career coming back to London, this time to the West part. And I like his pace, I like his stamina, and as a backup for Ryan Sessegnon, I think he'd do a pretty solid job. Let's bring him in. Yeah, I don't think we'll have to spend much more than valuation. And whilst Chris Wilder does want a little bit more, we've got so many options here. If I can't get him for under, I'd say 18 mil. Then I'll just go after someone else. But okay, all right, Chris. Not too happy with the initial bids. But again, there's loads of players I can go for here, Chris. It's my choice here. If you want me to take your player, you got to come down to my level. We'll go 17 and $750,000. I think that's fair in today's market anyway. 25 years old, in the prime of his career, and 79 overall too. Yeah, I'll take that. I don't know what Arsenal plan to do long term with Nuno Tavares. Obviously, he came in, wasn't great, spent a loan year out on loan with Marseille, and then Nottingham Forest too. In the game, sold to Sheffield United, but relegated last season. I'm not prepared to give up on the guy just yet, though. I still think he could be a starter in the Premier League and possibly here in West London. Welcome to Craven Cottage on a 5-year expensive contract of 58 grand a week. Nuno Tavares, again, 25 years old, not going to get much better, I don't think, but he's all right. All across the board, he's okay. Defensively, he's okay. Going forward, he's okay. He's just okay. That's just the best way of putting it, really, but he does have a lot of pace in him as well. We'll try and get a defensive work rate up to high. Again, not sure how much better he can get, but as a backup left back, at least for Ryan Sessegnon, he'll do a pretty solid job. I'm okay with that deal. Yeah, I don't know about Ryan Sessegnon. I mean, I'm still considering converting him to left mid. So we would have Kuto on the right, Sessegnon on the left. Both decent defensively and can offside going forward as well. I'm not sure. I don't really know. Still considering it. But yeah, for now, looking at the team again, I'm not that concerned about the first 11 now. Again, we brought in that first team quality with Danilo and Tavares and Ruiz, who could both be starters if not coming off the bench. It's just depth. I mean, it's literally just depth. We've got 24 players here. It's a small squad, and again, we might not be in Europe. We still want enough cover. I'm thinking possibly a new squad winger, maybe, even though we just sold Iwobi, or maybe a new squad centre half, or maybe a new squad striker. Just a squad player of some sort, anywhere really. Oh wow, that's an interesting one. Liverpool accepting a bid of 41 mil for Harvey Elliott, and I said I do want to bring this guy back as a Fulham Academy graduate. We're not ready yet, and it looks as though if we are going to get him at some point, we'll have to bring him back from France instead of Merseyside, as he looks as though he's on his way there. I think it's really shocking me though, is how is no one going in for Dominguez yet? I was purposefully keeping him there in Nottingham Forest and thinking, well, do you know what? He's a heck of a player. He's got some fantastic stats in the prime of his career. I'll wait and see if like a European standard club wants him, and I'll let him go there instead. No one's put a bid. How has no one put a bid in for this guy? Forest are relegated last year. This is something I want EA to look into as well, improving the transfer market intelligence. If a club gets relegated and there's players like that, okay, all right, fair enough. There are some players that do accept to drop down to a second tier and stay in the Championship. But the majority of players would request a transfer And big clubs would come in for those sort of standard of players to bring them back for what will probably be a cut price deal and a valuation bid too. No, how is no one going in for a player like this who's more than good enough to be playing in Europe, let alone in the Championship right now? Well, hey, listen, if no one else is going to do it, then I might do it instead. But a quick look at our academy right now. All 4 players now 17. And I think actually, do you know what, I might actually just promote them all and try and get them loaned out. I mean, if they're all 17, there's a good chance they'll be asking for pro deals during the season. So actually, that's not a bad shout. We're going to send our scouts out now. It's the first of the month, but going to promote all these 4 players here and add them straight to the loan list and get them out. Just before we do that, I want to check their potentials. Ben Morrison is an exciting prospect. I believe that Tom Roberts will have that potential to be special. We'll see together anyway. So exciting prospect. I think we might see a few exciting prospects here. Exciting prospect, Morrissey. And where's Roberts? Oh, there he is, Tom Roberts. Yeah, potential to be special, as expected. We'll add them all to the loan list and get them out. Yep, let's send our scouts out. And as always, we'll keep one in our nation, which is England, looking for those homegrown talents. Have we gone to Northern Ireland yet? I don't think we have we? We've done England, Wales, Scotland, and Republic of Ireland. Yeah, I don't think we've done Northern Ireland yet. So that being the case, the last of the British Isles nations to scout, we'll take a look and see if we can find a new George Best. Obviously played for Fulham for a while. And as for our final scout, where are we going to send this guy? Do you know, one thing that I am quite interested in doing is sending him to Brazil. Because we've had like a crop of Brazilian players here that we inherited in Willian and Rodrigo Muniz, and players you brought in like Gabriel Sara and Danilo for this season, for example. We've had a bit of a connection with Brazil in this save, so why not scout the nation as well? It's a country I'm desperate to visit more than any other. Let's look for a technically gifted Brazilian player, possibly looking for the next Ronaldinho or Neymar coming through the Fulham academy. We've got a Brazilian connection within the save, so let's keep it going. So we'll do Brazil, Northern Ireland, and England for the next 9 months. So just doing some loan deals here. Looks as though Tom Roberts is probably going to go to Germany to join Heidenheim or maybe Aruka. Morrissey just negotiated with Bristol City. I'm actually considering letting Marek Rodak go to Bramwell Lane, you know. Obviously, this season we've brought Lance Knight back, as Pisa want to take Cameron Fox on loan as well. So Marek's lost his number 1, literally and figuratively. And I wouldn't mind him going there to Bramwell Lane for a year, just to make sure he gets some game time to stay fresh. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. It means we'll need a new backup goalkeeper for the kid, but... or maybe we just keep Bender as the backup and just have Lance Knight playing every single game. I guess we'll see. So as Morrissey goes out on loan to Bristol City, we'll keep an eye on there at Ashton Gate. And they're our Premier League side. They won the playoffs last year, so not sure how much game time we'll get there in the top tier, but you never know. We've got a budget over 40 mil, and I still can't believe no one's gone in for Sangare or Dominguez. That's ridiculous. If that's the case, I've given all the clubs all the time in the world, man. I've given them 6 weeks, and they've still not bothered putting the bid in. Again, I've had Sangare a few times before, but Nicolas Dominguez, I've never signed him before. Far too good for the Championship, so I'm bringing him back to the Premier League. 81 overall, tremendous stamina, high work rates, and a 5-star weak foot. Far too good for the second tier. Yeah, can't say I didn't give the AI clubs time. And again, this is what I want EA to look into, man. When you got a player like this in the Championship, it's like, come on. Oh, Nuno, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Get that checked out. Seriously. It's even funny when you can see through from the back. Oh my goodness, but you see there in the top left, tension bar's barely filled up because Nuno just wants to get out of here quickly and put a shirt on. I don't blame him, he must be frozen. I'm going to hardball, I'm going to say 24 million, and I will give you a shirt as well if you want, but 24 mil for Nicolas Dominguez, plus a Fulham training top. He needs one, this is ridiculous. What? When this guy burst on the scene with Bologna, I remember he had like super high potential in the high 80s, but I never ended up giving him a go. And whilst he may not get to that level now and reach that full potential, he still carved out a decent career for himself. Several caps for Argentina and playing top level football with Nottingham Forest. And within this save, he'll still be playing top level football after jumping ship from the City ground and coming to Craven Cottage, just like Danilo. Yet welcome to West London. Nicholas Dominguez. You're 27 years old now. Not sure how much better he can get at 81 overall, but I still think he could grow a rating or two. And again, I love the stats. I really do. 90 stamina, high work rate, solid defensively, really good on the ball as well. And another player who could play further forward, could possibly play as a wing back, or right through the heart of the middle where we'll be playing him as well. We've got several players like that. Dominguez adding to that list too, but this is an absolute steal from Nottingham Forest here. And so as we continue to loan our youngsters out of the academy out for the next couple of years, and also Marek Rodak going to place. I like that too, keeping him fresh there in the second tier as he'll try and get Sheffield United promoted back to the Premier League. It's been the first game of the season. We'll end on this. Manchester United away at Old Trafford, heading into this one here, looking for a scalp on match day 1 and a winning start to our third year at Craven Cottage. For those curious, by the way, much more realistic objectives. Mid-table finish in the Premier League. Thank you, board. Where was that last season? First game, Manchester United away. Come on, Fulham. Yeah, listen, I am a big believer that everyone should have a North Star. Everyone should have big ambitions and big goals as well. But, you know, let's take it in time, shall we? You know, it's great to, you know, want to achieve big things, but let's be realistic with the time frame. Could we be a Europa League team? Yes, but not now, you know? Maybe next season, maybe, you never know. Next season or the season afterwards, as Rasmus is denied by Lance on his debut, but we shouldn't have been targeting Europa League last season. It's great having those big ambitions, board, and I'm on board with that, no pun intended as well. But let's be realistic about the time frame. Easy. Oh, Lance once again. This time a bit more of a comfortable save, but what a start for our new number 1. Already 2 stops on his debut. As we're still tied at 0-0. This is why I was fine loaning Marek Rodak out. You could call it a gamble, loaning out a senior goalkeeper with Premier League experience, and now just throwing everything on the kid. But clearly this kid thrives in pressure, man. 2 years out on loan at West Brom in the Championship as a teenager, and he held his own and grew spectacularly. He wants to smoke. He wants the pressure. Speaking of wanting the pressure right now, that's what he's getting, because it's all Manchester United. I can't get out here. I am literally spawn trapped here. As Anthony is tackled and Kuto will get it away. As we're still tied at 0-0. Finally managed to get a foothold after a tough start. Sara to Mason. 1-2 between the pair. I see you. Kuto! Saved by Onana. And turned behind for a corner. This season, like I said, board saying mid-table. That does me fine. But my objective is top 10. I'm going for top 10 for the first time in the save this year. Yeah, I loved our cup runs last year too. So what I really want is Knight once again is top 10 and another cup semi-final place, whether it's Carabao or FA. Either's fine. But last year the cup runs were so fun. So I want a yes! Top 10 finish for the first time, and another final 4 place in the domestic cup. What a dream start for last night, and Fulham have a deserved, well, not a deserved lead, but a lead regardless. Yeah, calling that a deserved victory wouldn't have just been debatable, but factually inaccurate. Had it not been for a string of fine saves in the first half from our wonder kid goalkeeper Lance Knight, would have been behind and probably lost. Instead, Jan Kuto's goal on the break ensures on match day 1, Fulham start off with a scalp and 3 points at Old Trafford. Perfect beginning to season 3, and that will do it for today's episode. So massive thank you for watching the season opener, guys. Really hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with more big games in the Premier League as we start the new season off, including our first West London derby at home to Chelsea. We'll have the EFL Cup second round against Bristol Rovers, aim to get to the final 4 just like last year, and with 70 million in the budget, we still might make a couple more signings with a couple weeks to go before the transfer window slams shut. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.